The idea of designing a classroom supporting student success seems simplistic, however, brings many challenges. Imes and Byers conducted a study supporting the theory, arrangement of physical space does matter. They determined a more dynamic and adaptive space, aligned with the affordances of technology, had a positive and sometimes significant effect on student perceptions concerning their learning. Teachers have the responsibility of creating an environment that promotes learning, demonstrates concept, displays student ownership, and provides an accepting and safe environment. Room design is a nonverbal cue of what happens in that room. When designing a classroom, think about our natural environment. For the purpose of generalizing skills, it is important to simulate natural environments as much as possible. In the classroom, specific areas are dedicated to specific types of activities. Defining specific areas of the room in the beginning helps establish and support instructional and behavior expectations and creates a mindset of the different activities that occur throughout the day. A well-designed classroom teaches behavior expectations, clarifies responsibilities, provides predictability, and increases student engagement. Students learn to anticipate specific activities which are defined by the placement of instructional programs. This helps increase student participation and decrease misbehavior, which often occurs when students are unsure of teacher expectations and instructional assignments. Preparing a supportive classroom begins with physical arrangement of furniture. Methodical furniture arrangement enables students the ability to anticipate activities, increase participation, and understand behavior expectations. A well-defined physical arrangement teaches students respect of physical boundaries, such as individual work areas. Teaching physical boundaries in the classroom leads to lifelong lessons of respect of personal space of others and respect for property. Classrooms should be designed on the basis of 5 main areas: home base, group instructional areas, teacher work area, transition area, and workstations. Home base is an individual space for each student, such as a personal desk, assigned chair at a table, or other individual work area. Home base provides students the opportunity to complete individual work assignments, check their schedule, prepare for transition, or take a personal moment to collect themselves. It is important to be aware of behaviors and personal needs of students when assigning home base. The group instructional area is broken into 2 different group settings. Small groups are designed for academic instructional programs and assignments. Whole groups are designed for large activities and full class instruction. The 2 group areas are defined by the type of materials needed for various assignments within the setting. The teacher work area provides a small space for teachers to complete documentation, make phone calls, and store materials. The majority of the classroom is designed to hold student work and implement instructional programs. Transition areas are often overlooked and teach the lifelong lesson of waiting and preparing for the next activity or event. Transition areas can be a small space containing visual schedules or other prompting materials, preparing students for the next lesson, next class period, or movement from one location to another. Workstations teach independent work habits. Workstations are often accompanied by work schedules, task boxes, vocational assignments, or folder systems. Workstations are more time-consuming to develop, however, have a huge payoff with implementing instructional programming. The main goal of workstations is to teach students how to select work, start and finish an assignment, and proceed to the next task. Workstations also teach students how to follow an assignment schedule. Designing the classroom is the first step in developing a successful instructional environment. Once students enter the classroom, teachers must teach students how to effectively navigate the room, how to access material, behavior expectations in different areas of the room, and how to request assistance. Teachers also have the responsibility of designing curriculum, supporting student needs, and promoting success. Dr. Hartman of LaSalle College introduced the concept of developing curriculum for students with severe disabilities using the Universal Design for Learning (UDL) framework as a way to show teachers how inflexible curriculum is the problem, not the learner. Learners have varying abilities, preferences, cultures, languages, and experiences which affect how they learn. The UDL framework encourages teachers to develop a learning environment, providing multiple methods for encouraging students to engage in learning, be resourceful, and demonstrate what they know. Following the UDL framework, teachers develop curriculum focusing on providing students the opportunity to demonstrate a personal understanding of the content. UDL is focused on developing experiences in life and turning everyday experiences into opportunities of developing lifelong lessons. The UDL framework has three main principles. Principle 1, to provide multiple means of representation. Learners differ in the way they perceive and comprehend information. Present content in different modes and methods such as visual, auditory, and tactile stimuli. Principle 2 is to provide multiple means of action and expression. Learners differ in ways they can navigate a learning environment and express what they know. Some may be able to express themselves in written text but not speech, and vice versa. Expression requires a great deal of strategy, practice, and organization, and it is essential to provide options for action and expression. Principle 3. It is to provide multiple means of engagement. Affect represents crucial elements to learning, and learners differ in ways that they can be engaged or motivated. Some learners are engaged by spontaneity, while others require strict routine. Some learners work better independently, while others benefit from peer interaction and support. Provide multiple means of engagement is essential. It is important when designing a classroom, teachers provide a safe environment and supports a sense of community. Students are provided choices, challenges and expectations are balanced, and the instructional program focuses on lifelong lessons supporting student growth. Students and teachers and support staff benefit from an educational environment that is structured, organized, defined visually, physically, and instructionally. A successfully designed classroom supports movement throughout the curriculum and provides students the opportunity to develop personal goals toward independence and self-sufficiency. During the instructional design process, I began with a goal analysis and described the major steps. For each step, I completed a sub-skill analysis. This helped organize the process into sequential steps. Within the sub-skill analysis, I identified entry-level skills. For the next step, I completed a learner analysis by interviewing a first-year special education teacher. She was an excellent candidate because she fit into my target audience. I was surprised by the limited training the new teacher received prior to being hired as a special education teacher. Her desire for more information and support assured the need for a professional development training in classroom design. After the learner analysis, I determined the professional development training would focus on training how the physical design of a classroom creates an engaging instructional environment and supports student needs. Then I wrote the performance objectives and assessments. For the assessments, I created a rubric designed to evaluate understanding and the level of performance demonstrated by the learner after completing activities embedded in the professional development training. Mastery of the objectives was determined by instructor observation and the learner's descriptors of their final project. The next step I completed was clustering the objectives into small groups and estimating the time it would take to implement the instruction. In developing the instructional materials, I decided to create a narrated and unnarrated PowerPoint presentation. The PowerPoint contained embedded video clips and instructional activities to reinforce the content. I also created visual diagrams to reinforce major objectives. After the field trials of the staff development training, I completed a one-on-one interview with a pre-service teacher and a first-year teacher. I also completed a small group evaluation of 3 people, a pre-service teacher and 2 first-year teachers. The teachers evaluated agreed the professional development training seems to be more effective when small groups are able to interact during the activities and hold discussions. The main area of concern that required revision in the training was the use of a virtual software program when completing the final activity. For the final activity, participants are instructed to design a virtual classroom using an online software program. Participants found this activity difficult due to the lack of knowledge or training in the use of the virtual program. I revised my design to support the need for instruction in the virtual classroom design program by creating and adding a theme link as part of the professional development. I created a theme link to provide instruction on using an online virtual program to create classroom design. You go to Scholastic Classroom Setup tool on the theme link and click the video to learn how to use the online program. Several online resources are available to help with classroom design and developing classroom options. One virtual online resource is Scholastic Classroom Setup. Scholastic Classroom Setup identifies in a Google search as Class Setup Tool, Scholastic Tools. Open the web page and you'll see that you have a virtual classroom to set up within the web page. On the theme link, you also have a video that shows how to use Pinterest to obtain information on classroom design. Pinterest is an excellent tool or resource to help obtain ideas on classroom design and classroom ideas. You type in pinterest.com and the main page will occur, and if you do not have an account, you will have to create an account. It is free and easy to complete. If you do have an account, you click on the little person icon and the already established boards will appear. I have several boards already established. We're going to show how to create a new board. Click on the Create New Board. So we're going to give it a name. We'll say Classroom Design. The theme link also provides videos related to classroom design for students with autism and classroom design for the 21st century classrooms. The theme link is shareable. You can share it on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, or Google, and available for anybody who's interested in learning more about classroom design. Instructional design is a detailed process, and I was able to reflect on the step-by-step process and methods of instructional design from the feedback from my peers and professors. The most important component of my capstone was the discussions from the small group evaluations and the field trial. I learned the importance of improving instructional material from the input of the participants. Recommendations for the LDT field. Do your research. Research is very time-consuming. However, I learned quickly without completing proper research before I began my project. I wasted valuable time on information that was irrelevant. As a student, I created numerous videos, digital stories, PowerPoints, screencasts, and more. I found having a file of graphics to refer back to and add to was very helpful and reduced the amount of time it takes to search for new graphics. Also, regularly participate in class discussions on Blackboard. Classmates, peers, and the professors provide frequent and valuable feedback. The LDT program in my capstone has equipped me with the tools and ambition to begin exploring a career path in instructional design for the adult learner. I will also continue my educational experiences through participation in conferences and leadership programs. Thanks to all the professors and the courses I have taken at the University of Houston, I feel prepared to begin advancing my career in the field of education.